the zoning board of appeals. It is 7 o'clock officially. It is 8 July. We have 4 of the 5 permanent members. Bob Wisnia, Chris Dickerson, myself, Hank Nussbaum, and Cal Watsky. Just so you should know that in order for things to pass, we need 4 votes. The board is typically 5, but we can function with 4. But you need a unanimous decision if there's only 4 of us. If you would like to push it off to the next time where we have 5 members, that's certainly your choice. But I just want you to understand the protocol.
Everyone's got to be on board.
Well, if you're willing to risk it, okay. So,
Yeah, I don't know how to, I appreciate it, thank you.
just
yeah.
we're just as a question of, so you don't get blindsided.
Yep.
So if you would just introduce yourself, please, and then present your appeal.
Sure. So my name's Paul Mortensen, 911 Baldwin Road, obviously here in Woodbridge. I've got a bit of a unique situation. My wife and I have a house that's just over 1,700 square feet on the main living floor. The primary room is an open floor concept, so it doesn't allow for a lot of storage, and there's a good amount of sound that travels through the room. We're very interested in adding one more room to the side of the house that would be an additional open living space to the room that would create a bit of a sitting room and some storage for our family. The issue that I have is that the property line drops back at an angle not parallel to the side of the house. So what I'm requesting is not square footage or footage beyond what the setback line would be if you take the furthest point of the house and the setback line, but rather a squaring up is what I'm after. So it's kind of a variance to the setback that would create almost a triangle that grows toward the rear of the house. The unique situation that I also have is the fact that my property on that side of the house doesn't abut an immediate other property or a dwelling, but instead I have the 25-foot setback, and then there's a driveway for the house that's behind my house, and then another driveway that connects to that for the house that's behind my next door neighbor's house, and then my next door neighbor's 25-foot setback. So if it were a 25-foot setback to a 25-foot setback, it would be a lot closer. On top of that, you can possibly see from some of the pictures that I took and submitted, the closest dwelling to me, the actual dwelling, is at a rear angle to the tune of a couple hundred feet. So what I'm hoping that this group can approve tonight is for a setback variance that would allow for me to build a room off of this room that would be 16.5 feet wide and allow me to remain 16.5 feet wide, which would allow for the interior space to become the size usable square footage that would best accommodate what it is we're trying to achieve with the house. So again, it's not a variance that would push beyond that setback line except for where it drops close to the house, not directly in proportion to the way the house goes back. And I'm sorry if I've not accurately
I went and looked
explained.
at it, so I understand exactly.
Okay.
Paul, what year was the house built? Do you know?
So that addition, well, the house I want to say is from like 40s or 50s.
Okay.
Then that addition was put on just prior to my purchasing the home, and so that's about 13 or 14 years ago that addition was put on.
And you're proposing to build a 1-story addition or a 2-story addition?
So it would have a basement or a space, a crawl space or whatever it may be under it, and then
Okay.
this would be attached to the living floor.
So 1-story living?
Correct. Yeah, we want to just extend, and I've tried to do a layout drawing for you in there. I actually had an architect who started doing it, and that layout drawing shows that there's a couple of couches and some sitting space in there, but it's immediately off of my existing dining room to become a sitting space.
I saw you're also building, it looks like a 2-car garage with a room above.
Yeah.
So one might ask, how much storage space does one need?
Well, with two twins who are very active in a couple of different sports, more storage than I would like to have to admit, so. Honestly, the room off the side is really so that, like, if, you know, my kids are doing something or cooking in the kitchen, I can actually hear the television without having to crank it up and we're competing back and forth for sound. And then definitely for storage. Yeah, there really is, we've had to buy furniture to put in that living room. We don't have a pantry. We don't have anywhere to store it. And listen, I realize these are not real hardships. I'm not, you know, complaining about a real issue. The garage, will hopefully allow me to expand, the footprint of me having really kind of a home office. I work from home a decent amount, so that will be the space above the garage. And then you can fault me, but I'm a car guy. I do enjoy cars. I thoroughly enjoy. So,
What do you have?
I have a 91, I just completed a complete upgrade and restoration on a 91 Defender 110. I have a 72 Pantera on the way, and then the family vehicles.
Okay.
So one of the issues for all zoning or ZBA, the way we look at it, is that you never want to increase non-conformance. And I know what you're saying, that it's not a huge difference, but in order to not, at this point, there's no non-conformance. If you built it the way you want to build it, it will now add to the non-conformance. So the question is it possible to build it a little bit smaller and therefore not need a variance?
So that was, honestly, I can't tell you the thousands of dollars I've spent with the architect trying to come up with a layout that's a one-floor layout that achieves, I think, what I'm trying to, that is wide enough in order to, I don't know how to do it without some sort of variance. Even the best versions that the architect had done was gonna require 1.5 to 2 feet of variance. And I said, well, if they're going to grant 2 feet, they're probably going to grant 4, because then it's a, you know, we're arguing over inches at that point. I don't believe there is. I tried for, you know, quite some time. For about 6 months, I tried with the architects to come up with something that would lay out internally, that would allow for seating. You couldn't put more than 4 people in the room. And for me, I can't justify the expense of, you know, the expenses in, you know, breaking ground and pouring the foundation and buying that first board, anything additional, you know. So for me, I was gonna have to spend 85 to 90% of the job to have a very small room that was never gonna accommodate me the way that I had hoped for, you know, for it to accommodate for me, guests, family, whoever it may be, that we're having over. It didn't justify spending it when I could only put 4 people that could be in that room.
And I don't know the entire layout of the house, but instead of building it on the side, could it be built toward the back?
Yeah.
My septic is right
Okay.
behind, so I can't.
Okay,
Yeah, I tried that as well. We originally looked there and saying where our deck was, could we do, and this septic system is there. So I can't go off the back, I can't go off to another side, you know, easily, and then my bedroom is at the very end of the house. So I can't go through my bedroom to get, you know, to that other room or whatever, so.
Yeah, excuse me, you mean adjacent to the garage addition?
So
the base.
that's a bedroom addition that we're hoping to be able to push out and expand my bedroom footprint in the future. But that's something that's just being discussed at the time. It's all sort of gonna come down to, can we really create what it is that we're trying to create out of the property, so that it will accommodate our family.
I presume that the neighbors have been contacted?
Oh, yeah, full support.
Do we have?
I don't have written documentation.
There's been nothing
Okay,
in writing
but
submitted.
Yeah.
it was, but we do know that letters were sent or
Yes.
contacts were made?
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously, there's no one here to support or,
No, yeah,
Or-
and again, if it would help make a decision, the immediate neighbors have offered.
okay. Any other board members with,
So you can't, in other words, where you have this addition, the garage under, on slab, you can't go out in that direction at all. I mean,
From my bedroom, that's the one that's through my bedroom. I can't go that way through my bedroom for, the one end of the house is all bedrooms,
I see.
and the other end is living space. I'm trying to add to the living space of the facility.
yeah. The garage is, the new garage is a separate freestanding.
Correct.
Any other questions from the board?
No.
Okay. Then I suppose we'll close this part.
We need a motion to close.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to close.
Second.
Okay, there you go. All in favor? Okay, so we have unanimous closing.
Discussion.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
so,
pretty small.
yes.
I don't know where else you could do, you could put this. I mean, I can't see where you could put this on the property. If you were to move it 2 feet forward to the 75-foot setback, you're still gonna need a little bit of a variance in the back.
Yeah.
It would be really, it's not gonna,
It's not gonna change it.
No.
You can't go with that existing septic, because you can't.
no, it can't go in the
do anything
septic.
there.
Can't go in the driveway.
It seems like a
And I
reasonable.
think architecturally, this would be better that even if you moved it forward and had the
Because
Great Wall
it
of
would
China.
actually come out front of the
Yeah.
house. It
Yeah.
would not.
And to make it an
Yeah, the
angle.
well is right in
Nope,
front.
you can't talk anymore.
There's an angle.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy. So I think it's a reasonable, seems like a reasonable,
And the constraints.
it seems like a reasonable.
So that's the existing wall there.
Mhm. But even architecturally, they have
Yeah.
a little bit of
Yeah.
relief from a
It's
flat
not a
thing.
wall, you're right.
Okay, any further discussion from the board? Okay, so do we have a motion on this issue?
I'll move that we accept his proposal for this.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, vote? Okay,
Always.
congratulations, you made the right choice.
Thank you. I
You're
appreciate it very
Good,
much.
good luck with doing it, too.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, so the
Minutes? I
second.
can't vote on.
What's that?
Oh, I can vote on the minutes. Can I vote on the minutes?
Sure.
I was here
Yeah.
at that meeting.
Yeah,
Okay.
Of course.
Well, an alternate.
Yeah, but
Oh, well, but we should do the next thing on our list, which is election of chairperson, secretary, and other such officers as the board shall deem expedient. Okay.
You're our secretary?
no, the board can elect a secretary.
We can
So
choose, we
that
can choose
when,
not.
like, your legal notices go in the newspaper, that person's name gets put in the legal
Oh,
notice.
Okay.
Okay.
We've never had a secretary since
Not that I can recall.
1995,
I don't
when I
recall.
first got elected to this
It's
board.
extraneous to me, but
Yeah,
What's that?
I'm new,
Yeah.
so.
I think the key thing is just
the chair.
chairperson, and I move that we continue to have you be the chairperson.
I second that.
Okay.
Okay, we will vote. Okay, done. And we'll let the other board members know of the result. And then approval of the minutes, like what you said, that was like 3 minutes ago.
You know,
That's crazy.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes, since I can.
Okay,
Oh, you know what, I'll make one change. The person's name is Dana Poundstone, and the first paragraph says Derek Poundstone.
Or maybe this
Ah.
is-
Oh,
No.
no, Derek was the husband who was here.
Oh,
Dana
I thought
owns it.
Dana was the
Okay.
husband. All right, there we go.
okay.
Never mind.
It was a
Right.
test.
My motion stands. Yep, there you go.
Okay.
Who seconded?
I will.
Okay.
Cal, and the vote? Okay, it's Approved. All right, so then we can vote to close the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Chris,
Seconded.
Bob,
vote.
all
Done.
those in favor?
All in
All right.
favor? Okay.
Okay.
All right.